400 years ago, when most of the world still measured distance by footsteps and time by shadows on the ground, an idea was born that should have been impossible. Not a building, not a city, but a line, a single, unbroken line stretching across mountains, deserts, cliffs, and frozen plains. A line so vast that today, centuries later, satellites orbiting Earth can trace its shadow from space. The Great Wall of China was never meant to be admired. It was meant to survive. And survival, in the ancient world, demanded an engineering mindset that pushed human endurance to its absolute limit. The land itself resisted the idea. Northern China is not friendly terrain. Jagged mountain ranges rise suddenly from the earth, deserts swallow entire caravans, and winters turn stone into brittle weapons against those who dare build with it. Yet here, across more than 21,000 kilometers, ancient engineers and laborers carved a structure into the geography itself, not placing the wall on the land, but forcing the land to become part of the wall. This was not architecture in the modern sense. This was environmental domination. There were no blueprints in the way we understand them today. No satellite surveys, no drones. The engineers relied on naked eyes, basic geometry, and brutal trial and error. They followed ridgelines because ridgelines offered visibility. They avoided valleys because valleys invited invasion. Every curve of the wall was a military calculation, every stone a compromise between strength and scarcity. In many regions, stone did not exist, so they used rammed earth, compressed layer by layer, beaten until it hardened like concrete. In deserts, reeds and sand were mixed, forming composite walls that somehow resisted erosion for centuries. But the wall was not built by engineers alone. It was built by human bodies. Soldiers, peasants, prisoners, scholars, millions were forced into a single purpose. Some never returned. Some never even received names in history. The wall absorbed their lives the way it absorbed stone and soil. Ancient records speak of entire villages emptied, of families broken, of bones buried within the structure itself. This is not metaphor. Archaeological evidence suggests that human remains were sometimes used as structural filler. The wall literally contains the cost of its own existence. From a distance, the Great Wall looks continuous, strong, permanent, but up close, it reveals something more unsettling: adaptability. Different dynasties built different sections using completely different technologies. The Qin dynasty favored rammed earth. The Han extended it deep into the deserts using watchtowers as communication nodes. The Ming dynasty, facing more advanced enemies, upgraded the wall with fired bricks, drainage systems, and angled battlements designed to deflect projectiles. This was not one wall. It was an evolving engineering system, upgraded across centuries like ancient software. What makes the Great Wall visible from space is not just its length, it is its contrast. The wall cuts across landscapes in straight, unnatural lines, refusing to follow rivers or roads. From orbit, it appears like a scar, evidence of a civilization that believed survival required permanent resistance. The irony is painful. Despite its scale, the wall was never completely effective. Invaders breached it, empires fell anyway, and yet, the wall remained. Because the Great Wall was never only about defense. It was about psychology. It sent a message, not just to enemies, but to the people behind it. You were protected. You belong to something vast, something enduring. In that sense, the wall succeeded beyond its original purpose. Empires collapsed, dynasties vanished, but the wall outlived them all, quietly, watching history pass beneath its shadow. And this raises a disturbing question. How did a civilization without modern machines, without steel cranes or digital planning, construct something that modern engineering still struggles to replicate at the same scale? The answer lies not in technology alone, but in obsession, control, fear, and a willingness to sacrifice everything for permanence. Because once you begin building something meant to last forever, stopping is no longer an option. Empires usually leave behind ruins, broken columns, half-buried cities, names carved into stone that no one remembers how to pronounce anymore. But the Great Wall of China did something no other ancient structure managed to do. It refused to fade. Dynasties collapsed around it, borders shifted, languages evolved, weapons changed, yet the wall stayed, stretched across the land like a memory that refused to be erased. The real mystery of the Great Wall is not how it was built, it is why it survived when history itself tried to tear it down. Survival, in engineering terms, is not about strength alone. It is about adaptation. The Great Wall was never a single structure frozen in time. It was a living system, constantly modified, repaired, abandoned, and rebuilt. When one section failed, another was reinforced. When a dynasty lost power, the wall didn't collapse with it, it simply waited. In some regions, the wall eroded into hills of dirt, blending back into the earth. In others, it hardened into stone lines so resilient that even modern explosives struggle to dismantle them cleanly. One of the least discussed engineering miracles of the wall is its drainage system. Ancient builders understood something modern engineers still respect: water destroys faster than armies. Rainwater trapped inside a wall freezes, expands, and fractures stone from the inside. The Ming engineers solved this with subtle slopes, hidden channels, and stone spouts carved directly into the battlements. From the outside, these look decorative. In reality, they are survival mechanisms, quietly redirecting water away from the structure, year after year, century after century. Then there is the geometry. The wall is rarely straight for long. It bends, curves, rises, and drops, not randomly, but strategically. Straight walls crack under pressure. Curved walls absorb force. On steep mountain ridges, the wall narrows to reduce wind pressure. In valleys, it widens to resist flooding and siege equipment. Every change in thickness is an engineering response to an environmental threat. The wall doesn't fight nature. It negotiates with it, but materials were the true genius. In areas rich with limestone, builders used stone. Where stone was scarce, they used rammed earth, compressed in layers so dense it behaves like modern concrete. In the Ming era, they introduced a revolutionary binding agent, sticky rice mortar. Mixed with lime, it created a chemical bond so strong that some sections of the wall remain intact even after earthquakes. This was not accidental discovery. It was experimental engineering, refined through failure and loss. Yet the wall's greatest defense was never physical. It was symbolic. The wall reshaped how people understood borders. Before it, frontiers were vague, shifting zones. After it, a line existed, visible, permanent, psychological. Soldiers stationed on the wall didn't just watch for enemies, they watched the idea of invasion itself. Watchtowers functioned as early communication hubs, using smoke by day and fire by night. Messages traveled faster than armies, turning the wall into an information network long before the concept existed. Ironically, many invasions succeeded not by destroying the wall, but by bypassing it, bribing guards, exploiting weakly defended passes, or entering through political collapse rather than military force. This exposed a brutal truth: the wall could resist nature better than it could resist human corruption. And yet, even this failure did not end it. The wall outlived the reasons it was built. In modern times, satellites revealed something ancient builders could never have imagined: that their creation would be visible from orbit. The wall's visibility from space is not because it shines or glows, but because it disrupts patterns. It cuts across ecosystems, mountain ridges, and deserts in ways nature never would. From above, it is not impressive, it is unsettling. Proof that human will once carved permanence into a planet that constantly tries to erase it. Today, parts of the Great Wall crumble under tourism, pollution, and neglect. Other sections are meticulously restored. Some are left to decay intentionally, preserved in their broken state as historical truth. This contradiction mirrors the wall itself: part monument, part grave, part engineering triumph, part warning. It asks a silent question to every civilization that looks at it: how far would you go to protect what you fear losing? Because the Great Wall was never really about enemies beyond it. It was about identity within it. About drawing a line and saying, "This is us." That is the unknown. And 400 years later, that line still exists, not because it had to, but because humans refused to let it disappear. And perhaps that is the most terrifying engineering lesson of all.